They thought they had won. They laughed behind your back, whispered lies, and walked away, believing they had crushed you. They smiled in your face, but spoke against you in secret. They acted like your friends, your family, your lovers. Yet when the time came, they chose betrayal over loyalty. And when they turned their backs, they thought you would never rise again. They thought you would crumble, that you would be stuck in pain, drowning in sorrow, unable to recover. But what they didn't realize was that you were never meant to stay down. You were never meant to break. You were always meant to rise. This was never just a betrayal, it was a divine setup. The pain they caused was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to awaken you. Because the chosen ones are not created in moments of ease and comfort. No, they are forged in the fires of suffering, strengthened by the very betrayals meant to destroy them. And you, my friend, were always chosen, even when you didn't realize it, even when they tried to convince you otherwise. At first, the pain was unbearable. It felt like a knife twisting in your back, a weight so heavy on your chest that you could barely breathe. You replayed the moments in your head, wondering how the people you loved could do this to you. How could they smile in your face and then betray you so effortlessly? How could they look you in the eye and lie, pretend, deceive? The shock of their betrayal cut deep, making you question everything, your trust, your worth, your very existence. And the worst part, they didn't even care. They moved on as if you were nothing, as if all the love, the loyalty, the time you gave meant absolutely nothing. They didn't hesitate, didn't look back, didn't offer an ounce of remorse. In their eyes, they had won. They had gotten what they wanted. They had taken from you, used you, and discarded you like you never mattered. And for a moment, it seemed like they were right. It seemed like they had truly won. But what they failed to understand was that you are not ordinary. You are not weak. You are not someone who stays broken. No, the universe had bigger plans for you. And while they were busy celebrating your downfall, something was happening inside you. A transformation. A shift so powerful that even you didn't see it at first. The pain they inflicted began to mold you, strengthen you, awaken something in you that had been dormant for too long. The universe does not allow betrayal without consequence, and while they thought they were getting away with it, their fate was already being sealed. Because karma is real, energy is real, and when you betray a chosen one, you don't just betray a person, you betray destiny itself. And destiny has a way of balancing the scales. You see, they thought they could break you, but in reality, they freed you. They removed themselves from your life, thinking they were punishing you. But in truth, they were making space for something greater. The betrayal was not your downfall, it was your liberation. It was the moment the universe stripped away everything that no longer served you, so that you could finally step into your true power. And now, look at you. Stronger than ever, rising higher than they ever imagined. You are no longer the same person they betrayed. You no longer seek their approval. You no longer need their validation. You have found something far greater, yourself. And while you rise, they fall. While you heal, they suffer. Because the same energy they put out into the world is now returning to them. The lies, the deception, the manipulation, it's all coming back full circle. And this time, there is no escape. The pain they caused you, it was never yours to carry forever. But the consequences of their actions, that is theirs to bear. And now, as they watch you rise, they are left with only one thing: regret. Because the greatest revenge is not anger, it is not hatred, it is not even justice, it is success. It is rising so high that they have no choice but to look up and realize they never had the power to break you. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal next will shock you. The way karma works, the way the universe restores balance, it's far deeper than you think. Keep watching, because the best part of your story is just beginning. At first, they didn't notice. They were too caught up in their own illusions, believing they had won, believing they had left you behind for good. They walked away without a second thought, convinced that you would never recover, that you would be lost in the pain they inflicted. They thought they had silenced you, crushed your spirit, left you broken beyond repair. But what they failed to understand is that the chosen ones do not stay down. The wounds they inflicted did not weaken you. They refined you. The betrayal was never a curse. It was the beginning of your transformation. In the darkness, you found something they never expected: strength, power, clarity. While they moved forward without remorse, you were forced to confront yourself in ways you never had before. You had to face the loneliness, the heartbreak, the sense of abandonment. And it was in that solitude that you discovered the truth. You never needed them. The love you sought from them was always meant to be found within you. The validation you craved was never theirs to give. It was yours all along. While they thought they were thriving, something strange began to happen. They started to feel an emptiness creeping in, a quiet discomfort that they couldn't explain. The very people they betrayed you for. They weren't as loyal as they seemed. The situations they thought were victories. They started to unravel. Their smiles became forced, their confidence shaky. Because deep down, something was haunting them, a realization they refused to acknowledge. They had underestimated you. They thought you would suffer in silence, but instead you became louder than ever. Not with words, but with action. You didn't seek revenge. You didn't chase them. You didn't beg for closure. No, you let life take care of that. You focused on your growth, on building yourself up in ways they never imagined. And as you started to rise, something in their world started to crack. See, betrayal doesn't come without a price. When they walked away, they assumed they had taken everything from you. But in reality, they lost something far greater. They lost access to you, to your energy, to your loyalty, to your presence. And the moment they realized that, it was already too late. Because now they watch you from a distance. They see the way you move, the way you glow, the way you thrive. They see you standing taller, walking with purpose, radiating a confidence they never thought you would have again. And that's when the regret starts to sink in. At first, they try to deny it. They tell themselves they did the right thing. They justify their actions, convincing themselves that you deserved it, that it wasn't their fault. But no matter how much they try to escape it, the truth lingers in the back of their minds. And that's when the suffering begins. Because karma is not always loud. Sometimes it's a slow, creeping realization that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. That what they threw away so easily was actually priceless. That they may have betrayed you, but in doing so, they betrayed themselves. Their relationships start to fall apart. The people they once relied on turn cold. The things that once brought them happiness feel empty. They try to fill the void, to replace you, to distract themselves, but nothing works. Because they are now trapped in the very darkness they once left you in. And the most painful part, you're not there anymore. They can't call you, can't reach out, can't come running back. The bridge has been burned, and they are standing on the wrong side. And for the first time, they feel what you felt. The loneliness, the regret, the weight of knowing they made the wrong choice. But you are untouchable now. You have risen above it all. And while they suffer in silence, drowning in the consequences of their own actions, you continue to move forward. because the past no longer defines you. The pain no longer controls you. You have become something far greater than they ever imagined. And the best part? Your rise has only just begun. Stay with me, because in the next part, I will reveal something even deeper. Why their suffering will only get worse while your success continues to grow. What happens next will shock you. Keep watching, because the most powerful revelation is yet to come. At first, they tried to ignore it. They told themselves it was nothing, just a passing thought, a minor inconvenience. But deep down, something wasn't right. The victories they once celebrated now felt hollow. The people they surrounded themselves with didn't seem as genuine. The life they built on deception, betrayal, and selfishness began to show cracks. And the worst part? They started to feel your absence in ways they never expected. Because here's the thing about karma, it doesn't always strike like lightning. Sometimes it works like a slow-burning fire, consuming everything in its path until there is nothing left but ashes. And for them, that fire has already begun. They might have walked away from you thinking they had won, but in reality, they lost everything. They lost access to your kindness, your love, your energy, your loyalty. Things they never truly appreciated until they were gone. You were the light in their life, the one who genuinely cared, who stood by them when no one else did. And now, they're starting to realize that they will never find someone like you again. They search for replacements, trying to fill the void with distractions, new relationships, shallow friendships, temporary pleasures. But nothing works. No one sees them the way you did. No one understands them like you did. No one loves them like you did. And that realization, it's suffocating. At first, they tried to play it cool. They pretended like everything was fine, like they were happy, like life was better without you. But the act is wearing thin. Behind the smiles, there's regret. Behind the laughter, there's pain. Because while they thought they were breaking you, they were actually breaking themselves. And now, the consequences are unavoidable. The same betrayals they inflicted on you. They are now experiencing them firsthand. The lies they told, the manipulation, the backstabbing. It's all coming back to them in ways they never imagined. The people they trusted are turning on them. The relationships they built are falling apart. The happiness they thought they had found is slipping through their fingers. And as much as they try to deny it, they know exactly why. Because what goes around comes around. You didn't have to seek revenge. You didn't have to do anything. The universe took care of it for you, and now they are forced to sit with the weight of their actions, to feel the pain they once inflicted on you. But here's the thing, it's even worse for them. Because they had a choice, they had something real, something pure, something priceless, and they threw it away. And you are no longer the person they betrayed. You have risen far beyond what they ever imagined. While they are stuck in the past, drowning in regret, you are walking into a future brighter than ever. The pain they caused you became your fuel. The heartbreak became your strength. And now you are unstoppable. You no longer need closure, because their suffering is the closure. You no longer seek answers, because the truth has already revealed itself. You no longer wish things had gone differently, because you finally understand. It all happened for a reason. If they had never betrayed you, you would have never grown into the powerful force you are today. If they had never left, you would have never discovered your true worth. Their greatest regret is not just losing you, it's realizing that you never needed them in the first place. They thought you would fall apart, but instead you flourished. They thought you would chase them, but instead you let them go. They thought you would always be there, waiting, hoping, hurting. But instead you moved on, and you moved up. And now all they can do is watch. Watch as you become everything they doubted you could be. Watch as you rise higher than they ever imagined. Watch as you live a life that no longer includes them. And that, my friend, is the ultimate victory. So let them suffer. Let them sit with their regrets. Let them deal with the consequences of their actions. Because you have already won. And the best part? Your journey is only just beginning.